For now, though, let us see what Brandon is up to. And I hope my volume settings are correct this time. Okay. Brandon oh, no, background. I need to give background for people who have no idea what's going on. Brandon Herrera is an up-and-coming congressional... he's running for congressman. He is an absolute mad lad, very based, very crazy, but very based. And he is also a gun tuber. And so he makes a lot of firearms content, mostly based around the AK platform. And several years ago, it came up the idea of him making an AK in 50 BMG. Like a proper AK, not a sniper rifle that looks like an AK. And he sort of, excuse me, he sort of lost that bet and has spent years now slowly building a custom AK-50. And there's been a lot of trials and tribulations along the way through his updates, but it has been a really cool project. And before anyone starts, he did do the 50 Beowulf version too, in order to demonstrate the differences. Hello, welcome. We are about to start. I was just giving a quick, as quick as I can, overview of the AK-50. So this is an actual AK design. Everything works like a regular AK model rifle does, scaled up to 50 BMG, which is an absolutely insane round for those of you who are not familiar. It is the big one. And, well, let's see what madness he has gotten up to. And I think I have sound fixed. There.
A famous man once said, "There is no real ending. It's just the place where you stop the story." Who said that? What does it even mean? Doesn't matter. I said it because he said it, so now he was famous, and it's basically getting said by two well-known guys. I don't... Tell you what, let's just start from the beginning.
Yeah.
My name is Brandon Herrera, and this is my gun, the AK-50. If you're new here, there's a few things you need to know, so let's go back to the beginning.
In the beginning, the universe was created.
Not that far. There we go, that's better. So around 8 years ago, I announced I was working on an insane task. To take an AK-47, the most iconic combat rifle in the world, and scale it up to the insanely large 50 BMG. You know, the caliber usually reserved for anti-aircraft guns, or the one Archer said could kill a building. So just scaling up an AK to fire 50 BMG sounds simple enough, right? Well, if you think so, then you know as little about weapon design as I did when I decided to announce it. You see, at the time, I hadn't
Is this
even
gonna
dropped
turn
out
into
of college
SDI?
yet, and while I had already started building AKs, I knew nothing about practical gunsmithing. So I enlisted the help of my local gunsmith, Chris Baker, and with the help of this redneck wizard, we got to work. Some of the parts we designed and had made by local companies, the rest we made ourselves with blood, sweat, and tears. But mostly blood. And by May of 2017, we had enough of an AK-50 version 1 ready to fire its first test shot. Live round. 3, 2, 1.
She's together. Full held, man.
So now step 1 was complete. The gun wouldn't explode on its first shot. Congratulations. But we're not building a single shot gun. We need to make it semi-automatic, so we need to make it cycle. So from there we added the gas system, the thing that makes AKs function. After we added gas, we were able to make it successfully extract and eject its first round.
3, 2, 1. Motherfucker! Motherfucker! Oh my god! God damn it! Fuck yeah! Fucking A!
A massive win for something that people had said was impossible.
Impossible? No, why would that be impossible? I mean, after all, you're just scaling up a 7.62 AK to the point where it would be able to fit 50 BMG, right? Well, no. You see, that's where you run into two different issues.
Oh,
First
yes.
one being, even though the size of the bullet is getting bigger and the size of the gun is getting bigger, the size of the person using it stays the same size. Meaning that if you just scaled it up 1-to-1, you'd end up with something that looked like this. Not something that's really usable to anybody. Not like you could, because that's where your second problem comes in. That wouldn't work anyway because of something called square cube law. Square cube law is kind of an understanding of physics that things don't scale up or down on a 1-to-1 ratio. In fact, it's a lot more dramatic. For example, doubling the size of something doesn't just double everything else, like area and volume. Those might correspond by being 4 times or even 8 times bigger. Without getting too fucking Bill Nye on you, a simple explanation of that is why an ant's
That's
feet
not a
are allowed
shout
to be
out.
super tiny.
That's not a
and an
shout out
elephant
I
has
saw
to
coming.
have 4 fucking tree trunks to be able to support its weight. It's not a 1-to-1 ratio. Then you have issues with gas volume, with relative pressures. Look, all of this to say, not as easy as making this much bigger. A lot of engineering, a lot of math to be done. But let's get back to the AK-50 timeline. I know a lot of you may not be super interested in gunsmithing and weapons technology, weapons design kind of stuff. But if you are,
But if you, yeah.
I hope you know you can get your start at sdi.edu using the links in the description and the pinned comment.
So to help with this engineering workload, we had a lot of help, including my Brass Valley internship program, which, among other things, is where I found my current head gunsmith, Zach, someone who would prove essential in completing the 50 project. So after redesign, after redesign, after redesign, we settled on what would be the AK-50 V2, which would go away from the heavy and expensive milled receiver in favor of an easier, cheaper, and lighter stamped receiver. And in May of 2021, we were ready to test to see if an AK-50 could actually fire and cycle consecutive rounds, which it motherfucking did.
Cycling test with a magazine. In 3, 2, 1.
He is not. He was not far enough down behind that.
I felt that trigger reset. I'm sending it again in 3, 2, 1. Motherfucker!
We made it to 8 rounds in a row before it started slowing down and having hiccups. A death by a million pinpricks where a lot of tiny design flaws from pin sizes to cam groove angles, but at the end of the day, we still proved the concept. This gun could work. So now that we knew the AK-50 was possible, it was time to make the gun we actually wanted to make. Not just making the skeleton of a gun fire, but making a complete gun. From the handguard to the dust cover and optic mount to a few internal upgrades, it was time to make the gun that we had always wanted to make. A fully functional, fully assembled, completed AK-50. But who was capable of making some of these parts? Well, we were lucky enough to be in the greatest country in the world, Texas. Which means industry giants like titans of CNC were in our backyard. And after finally finding a dance partner who could make our parts exactly as we needed them, the road to a finished AK-50 was clearer than ever. But we made a lot of changes to the core of the gun over the last couple of years from what we learned from the V2, and we needed to know if this new AK-50 would function as we thought it would.
How's that look?
Pretty decent. I'm not gonna hit anything there.
Cool.
A lot of pity test fire if it's not ghetto.
What are we doing?
I don't know. This feels different. Strange going on, guys. AK-50 V3 test fire. Several years in the making. First round. 3, 2, 1. That just fucking cycled. First fucking try. What the shit? Yeah, really? So now that we knew the core of the AK-50 V3 worked, it was time to add the rest of the gun, which as it turns out, led to its own problems. Ejection issues, dust cover not fully locking, there were a lot of minor details to overcome. But after months of fine-tuning, we were finally ready to test what we considered to be a completed gun. All right, going hot. All right, AK-50 V3 completed, assembled, test fire.
It does look really good.
In 3, 2, 1. Let's see. Oh yeah, all right. I've been waiting 8 fucking years to do that.
Does that shoot? That looks like it shoots softer than the Barrett. I think that actually shoots softer than the Barrett, which is just wild.
I think that was the fastest we've ever fired it to.
I think so.
Fuck. God, who's next? You want to give it a shot?
Who's next? Giant line forms.
Cool. Very nice. How much?
No, it's fucking wild. It's cool shooting it with it now fully together, because now we've got this dust cover, the optic mount and everything. So we're shooting with this the Trigicon 50 cal optic. The hand guard lets us, actually put a bipod on it so it's stable. We're not shooting it off of a bunch of fucking sandbags.
Yeah, having to being able to actually aim it instead of looking down the barrel and making sure it's vaguely on the berm. It's pretty nice.
Just kind of sending it. Yeah. The bipod we're actually using here is an Atlas bipod, but it's mounted using a QD Picatinny mount from Sylvan Arms. They're actually a great sponsor of the channel. Super nifty, just quick detach. So when we're doing it for transport and whatnot, it's a nice little setup. Also thanks to Kerr Ammo for hooking us up with some of this 50 cal, because testing ammo for 50 BMG is not cheap. So we appreciate them as well. But now we've loaded up a full magazine of
It's terrifying. It sounds click as hell. It's an AK. What do you want from it? And yes, it does work. Can you imagine having a 30-round magazine? What is the... I think they're using Barrett mags, which is what, 10? But I think you can get 20? I don't know. I think they could put together a 30-round magazine for that monster.
10 rounds, because for the first time in the AK-50's history, I think she's ready for mag dumps. So this is, like I said, a long time coming. I think on the V2, we were able to get 8 consecutive rounds before it gummed up. But now I think we're just gonna send it. I think she's good. I think she's ready. Do you concur, Doctor?
Let's see what she does.
Time to find out. Time to fuck around and find out. All right, mag dump. 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah.
That it does sound
There she
way more
is.
terrifying than a normal 50.
Ah. In the words of the great warrior poet Ryan Reynolds, I'm touching myself tonight.
No!
Threat neutralized. Watching this thing run is just so sexy. The only thing that would possibly make this better is some high-speed footage. Maybe some ballistic
Yes!
high-speed.
You see, when we had the ballistic high-speed guys in town to record our gyro jet slow motion video, we asked for their help on one more project.
3, 2, 1.
Oh! Oh! What? I don't like that barrel shake. Oh! That makes me a bit more nervous.
Just because I've always wanted to do this.
Oh yes. That is softer shooting than the Barrett.
As heavy as it is, it shouldn't be.
Yeah, that's fair. AKs do that. That is fair.
Time to shoulder fire this big heavy bitch. It's been a long time coming.
Okay, that actually would explain it. I wasn't even thinking about the weight.
So impractical. It's so fucking hot.
Look how long that thing is.
I got nothing. That was just fun.
It hasn't killed anyone yet?
Not yet. No. No thumbs needed today.
Sweet. Dude, that sounds beefy.
It is beefy.
And it cycled just like that?
Oh yeah.
You did it!
Your favorite 50 cal, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. That feels really good.
It's not too bad. The recoil is not bad either.
No, that's awesome. Good job.
I feel like a proud dad.
You should. I feel like a not proud dad. None of my kids can do that.
A famous man once said, "There's no real ending. It's just the place where you stop the story." Frank Herbert was the one who said that. He wrote Dune, so put some fucking respect on his name.
Okay, yeah.
But
Yep.
anyway, that's the story of the AK-50, or
I forgot
at least
about
the
that.
story so far. We've come a long way from a future college dropout in a garage to millions of subscribers and whatever the fuck this turns into. So if I were to wrap this up all tight with a bow, whatever, I guess I'd say that the AK-50 was never a distraction or a hobby. It was a starting point. And now, who knows where we'll go? All I know is that I wouldn't be here without you. Where we'll go in the future, I have no idea. But what I do know is that today we can set aside the age-old question. Where AK-50? Here AK-50.
He has spent 8 years fielding that question. That is a magnificent piece of work right there. And I congratulate him and his team. Best job I ever had. I congratulate him and his team for doing that, because that is absolutely nuts. Absolutely well and truly crazy. And yeah, that is one heck of a thing. And all the respect on them for pulling that stunt off, because holy crap. I'm a little proud of myself for being able to spot by eye the recoil is lighter. I don't know what that says about how much I've done this kind of stuff. I am very close to speechless, and I kind of now that the hard part, quote quote, is done. One of my first thoughts seeing it was, man, I wonder if it would be possible to put together the money to get him to build another one. I'm sure there's a lot of people thinking that. Yeah, I was not here from the beginning. I did not find oh yeah, I know I can't afford it, but I can postulate. I think that's the right word. I was not here from the beginning. I first found him as he was working on V2. So I had to go back and find out, wait, what's this AK-50 thing everyone's talking about? And then, oh, that's the AK-50 thing everyone's talking about. Well, that's something in it. It does look... I gotta be honest. I thought that the AK-50 would run much more on cool factor than actual looks. Even with, you know, the not cleaned up, still pretty bare metal on most of it. I really like its silhouette. It looks good. And this comes from someone who actually isn't much of an AK fanboy. I think that the AK-50 came out looking great. Yeah, get some nice dark bluing on it would help. Bluing. Well, I mean, hey, it's got that silver front guard. Maybe play into that. Black and silver. Make the whole thing a nice shiny black and silver mix. Yeah, see, because that's a good silver for it. Maybe keep this upper part black, silver up the lower part, blacken the barrel and piston. You know? That would be, I think that would be a great combination pattern for it. It almost looks flat out sci-fi as is. You know? It's the AK-50. It's based on an old design that, you know, as has been mentioned several times, is fairly clanky, is very, very rugged. But the way they all scaled it up to get to where it is, it looks almost science fiction levels of smooth. It just needs the cleanup job. I think it's kind of neat that it has a softer recoil than the standard Barrett, which is the typical 50 caliber semi-automatic rifle that most people think of. It almost makes it like, if you can manhandle it, it really is still a battle rifle instead of a sniper rifle. Yeah, this is just me analyzing it though, because, you know, I am not qualified or prepared to actually, you know, try to go nitpicky like I'm sure some people are on the design and the model. I am just very impressed. Very impressed and very, very pleased that it came out looking as good as it did. Because that is a really nice looking rifle. I cannot stress enough how much I think that actually looks like a really good looking rifle. Yeah, congratulations again. Good luck with the election. Man. I can only imagine, even after seeing this, the relief and the pride they have to be feeling at this whole thing. For those of you not familiar with Brandon Herrera, the production quality on this video was way above his usual stuff. It's not that he is lazy or anything. It's just that he just kind of is very utilitarian, I guess is the way that a lot of his videos are made. This deserved the extra mile that they put into the video and showing off and celebrating what they did, I think. So, you know, when that first opening starts, like, okay, we're going somewhere with this. All right. I want to keep focusing on this, but I'm just going to go in circles, sadly. So I guess I have to move on, but man, I've already got the video linked. I'm just gonna, as Brandon likes to say, send it. Get that stuff out for everyone. Am I missing any places? I don't think so. Yeah, I hate to move away from this because I'm just so impressed. I love the look of it. But I guess off to the games. Man, that's a good looking rifle.